That's amazing. Why is it still playing?
We do need Sherm. We do need Sherm out here.
Okay. I want everyone watching to know that that's hysterical. And if it were anyone else but Tim, I'd probably be like, I feel bad. I feel bad. I do feel bad. But what I mean by it being Tim is that, hey, you guys, I know this man will forgive me for what just happened.
Oh, it's already forgiven. Yeah. No, you're good.
So, hi, good morning, everyone. This is Spotlights with the Masters, and it's a whole different spotlighting show. This is the show where I have come across a master of the universe, in my opinion, when it comes to all things art, and especially in Tim's case, and he kind of knows this a little bit, digital art. And I know this digital is not his only forte by any stretch of the imagination, but it is one that you are in currently. And so for starters, for everyone watching, that's Xena on the screen. Correct?
It is. We did this the other day on my stream, and this was your request.
Who requested that? Oh,
this is your request.
I'm sorry.
And I like doing it like that. It's fun to. Yesterday we had one. My buddy Insomnia gave us like a random one. It was the Baroness from G.I. Joe, but medieval. You know. Then somebody wanted Garfield, but I wanted to spice it up, so we did Garfield with Lion-O from Thundercats.
Okay.
But they're quick. We're doing them like really fast. And this Xena came out. If you're doing a head sketch or a bust, that you can do those pretty quickly. If you're going to do something more complicated, it takes more time.
Right. So
but it's fun to kind of on demand, see what you can pull out.
I've been on a lot of art streams, and I'm a little bit of a live stream junkie. And so it was quite special to have someone, you shout out a character or whatever, and they're like, okay. You're like, what? He's really going to draw it? Like, what?
Yeah. I guess that's another thing too. Like, it was just something I decided to do in the last few weeks was start a stream. And we're kind of navigating. I'm letting it happen very organically. Wherever it goes, it goes.
Right.
But that was something we did one day. There's no point. I always Phoenix Feather that was in there yesterday. She helps me out with a lot of my artwork and stuff like that. And I'm always telling her to be like Bruce Lee. Like Bruce Lee has this great quote of "Be like water. Water can flow or it can crash." So that's kind of the mindset I take into the stream and in life.
Nice.
So wherever it goes, it goes. We did sketches one day, and it ended up being like really fun. Everybody kind of yelling out stuff and doing it. So we have a very, you can come tip the piano man or get a request from the piano man kind of thing going on.
Cinema 7 says, "Oh man, right on time." See, we were on time. I had another artist's name on my intro timer. I'm gonna never let myself live that down. But yes, hi there, Cinema 7. Someone you know or someone I know?
No, maybe someone you know.
Oh, well, hello, good morning. Okay, so I'm going to shoot some questions at you. This is, inquiring minds want to know. I'm like ready for this. All right. I like to call them spitlights because, everybody else has their own, they call it spitballing. But we're not going to spitball or freeball today, so we're going to spitlight.
Let's do it.
So here's a big one, okay? Peanut butter, chunky or creamy?
Creamy.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. I've been getting this stuff from.
That was pretty fucking quick on that answer.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. I guess I could eat both. I don't have anything against chunky peanut butter. It probably sounds pretty good. It probably tastes great, but I guess it's just what you grew up on. I don't know.
Well, I'm the same way. I'm 100% creamy, especially if we're talking about an actual peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Might want to put them on some Ritz crackers. And by the way, for those of you that have joined, we have about 4 people watching. Leave us a comment or throw up a question for Tim. I'll try to make sure he doesn't get too distracted when he's answering these. But Chunky peanut butter, however, is what I'm going to go to if I'm going to make cookies.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm getting more into that now.
Yeah.
Just doing like homemade stuff. So that is
Do you like peanut
I'll take
butter
that.
cookies?
Yeah, I like all cookies. I have a sweet tooth for sure. So, and that's where that came from. Like saying you have sweet, to have sweet dreams. That was supposedly if you eat something sweet before bed. Technically, it's supposed to be honey.
Yeah.
But that's where the saying came from. Yeah, sweet dreams.
I like I don't say sweet dreams. I say dream sweetly.
Yeah. That's it reminds me of that He-Man quote. Like they say, we don't say goodbye, we say good journey.
Exactly.
But yeah, absolutely.
So your next question, your next Spitlights question is, if you could only pick one spirit animal or a spirit creature, what would it be and why?
Oh man, this is fun.
Does Tim Lattie have a spirit animal?
Sure I do. Absolutely. I always like sharks. I don't know if I would pick that as my spirit animal. Maybe like more of like a mascot.
Well, we know you love the Jaws movie.
Wait, what now?
We know you love the Jaws movie.
Yeah, I love Jaws. No, I really do. I have sharks all over because they never stop moving. Like I don't know. I just like dig sharks. I don't know if I would make that my spirit animal. But I have a rooster and I like him. He's pretty awesome. I don't know if I would go with that. That's a tough one.
What is about the rooster other than the fact that is he your pet? Do you call him a pet?
Yeah, he's my pet. So I got a few hens and it was supposed to be all hens and I ended up with a rooster. Just it happens like that sometimes, and nature. And I thought I didn't know what I was gonna do. I debated like what am I gonna do? He's gonna be noisy, blah blah blah. I ended up keeping him. I could just see how protective he was of especially one of the hens that he came up with and stuff like that. And I just couldn't separate him. I ended up keeping him. And it's been a long journey over the last year. But he just, I don't know, man. He's got attitude. Sometimes he'll come at me. Usually I'll go pick him up and I'm going to go pick him up and carry him around when we get off of this. Just to show dominance. But
I like what you said about.
He came at me last night.
Yeah, well, the thing you were talking about, or the thing you said about how he'd protect the hens, that doesn't shock me. I have not known you very long at all, but the few times I've gotten to hang out on your stream and hear you and talk or listen to you, even like when you were on Will's show, it doesn't shock me at all that you would be, down for the underdog, so to speak. Even though we're talking about a hen or a rooster, but
I'm a big. No, go ahead.
No, I was on Will's show. It doesn't shock me at all. I was trying to find the feed so I can share it one other place. So other than that, we've established the shark, and now I wanted to go back to the shark for a second. For those of you watching, this is Tim Lattie Team Inked. What's the name of the company?
It's Lattie Inc. My buddy came up with that as like a joke, and we kept it. INK Inc. Like Lattie Incorporated. Years ago. So it just kind of happened.
Yeah, some almost everything or every link you could think of to find him is in the description of this broadcast. The shark thing. So yeah, you've got a lot of things that you do and a lot of things that's going on. So the shark thing, not what is that? Oh my God, is it too early?
Not moving. I don't think they ever really sleep. I'm pretty sure they.
Oh my God. So is that the main thing about sharks, is the fact that they kind of keep going? Do you find that as kind of an inspiring type of personality?
Yeah, absolutely. That's
no, it's not
fun.
cool.
I like all these like psychological questions, but yeah, like but it's true, and I've been putting like the motivational videos before the streams and stuff like that. But that's that's another life thing. If you look at somebody like Sylvester Stallone and his movies, you can see a theme throughout all his movies, whether it be Rocky or Rambo or even Over the Top or something like that. And it's all about like, no matter how hard life punches you, you got to punch back. You got to keep going. Like that's the whole trick. So yeah, absolutely. And a shark is, they just don't stop. They just.
Yeah, well, I love that. the thing you were just talking about, the Sylvester Stallone Rocky movies. There's that one scene that that thing where he's with his son.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I do just love that. So what are you in? Okay, so I'm assuming these are colors you're choosing. Are you gonna? I thought you were. Are you inking her?
No, I'm gonna go back. I ink in another program.
Okay.
So I was just gonna pick something and draw it. Draw something fresh. Just because inking takes longer. Why you got a request?
I thought of someone that you might be interested in drawing. Have you ever watched Into the Bad? I think it's called Into the Badlands or just Bad. So I queued this up for everyone watching because I loved it and I wanna spotlight it, and I'm glad that I knew at some point today Tim would hit on this. And so for those of you that are watching, this is a video that he did, motivational video. It's about 3 minutes, so but while we've got this 3 minutes and Tim goes, I want you to go look up the widow. Wait, why is this sound not playing? Oh, I know why. I muted it on purpose because I wanted it to be paused. So I have to get my shit together.
Okay.
I gotta get my fucking shit together.
I like the widow from Into the Badlands though. That's cool.
Okay, yeah. So I was gonna ask you if you know who she is, and if
I've never even seen this show. I have no clue.
She's fucking badass, man.
I'm looking at it now. It's cool. She might have me sold on the show in general, so that's bad. And you don't no, it's
and
cool.
her boots. Okay,
Emily Beckham.
She's got a few different outfits and stuff that she's in, but there's a consistent one that she's almost always in. But
the black one?
Oh, yeah, the black one with the boots and the oh yeah. She's something else. She is something else. So I'm gonna
wait, the one that's like a dress? It's kind of like a dress?
I want to say, well, she's also got some where she's in pants. So honestly,
right. Yeah, I'm this is my first look at it, so.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm gonna hit play on this. I'm gonna fucking unmute it, and so I get it right. So you got 3 minutes.
All right.
And I have your medication prepared. A full 3 inches worth of an injection of inspiration. Relax.
Okay, yeah.
You're only gonna feel a pinch.
Recently,
I heard someone talking about one of this country's great historical figures, Stonewall Jackson, talking about what his idea was when he was confronted by the enemy. He had 2 words: kill them! What is not for you is against you. What is against you is your fucking enemy, and you need to kill it. Your fears, your doubts, your lack of confidence, your lack of belief in a destiny, a certain, absolute destiny. You have to do something unique and great on this planet while you are here. Anything that stands in the way of that, any mystery resistance, no matter the stature of that motherfucker, you need to kill him. The weekend is a time to go to work or become comfortable with killing. The experts, the gurus, in health and fitness, they will tell you that rest and recovery, 8 to 10 hours sleep a night is what you need. Let me do something different. Let me be blunt with you. None of those fucking triple chin, punching belly, pasty-faced motherfuckers.
Pasty-faced motherfuckers.
Oh, I couldn't tell you how many times I listened to this. It's funny.
I love that.
Warrior is go to work, to build, to recharge.
Ultimate Warrior was a bad dude.
You're lost. You don't know where to start. You don't know what to do. Here's one of my strategies. When it gets dark, go out and walk.
Go out and walk. I love that. Hunting for yourself.
Crazy, right?
Crazy.
Nobody else would ever do that. That's why They call all those others nobodies. Bring somebody in your fucking mind. Warriors use their time. They don't waste it. This weekend, walk till you find yourself. Find who you are supposed to be. Not only me. When the doctor says so, it absolutely fucking matters.
Yeah, a little intense, but
right? Yeah,
I love it.
I fucking love it. And I threw this up on the screen real quick because I wanted to share this with you. I know I shared this with you already, but just to give you some perspective, that video struck me for a lot of different reasons. Definitely the overall message of it that it conveys, this part about, you know, just going out there and finding yourself. If you're in a dark place, and, you know, fuck if you got to walk all night. So this is a line from a rap song. It says, "Fuck being average. I'm a goddamn savage."
What's the rap song?
It's
I'm just curious.
No, you know, that's a good question. It's a really good question. I can tell you that the artist is Black Hesher, was his name.
Okay.
He passed away on April 23rd of this year. So he is no longer with us, actually. But he is definitely someone who took that whole perspective in that video to heart, and similar to what you're saying about sharks, and not, you know, I don't think you would probably ever call yourself average, but what's the thing you like to do the most that will set you apart so that you know you're doing something different than the average Joe?
Oh man, you came with him. I've been on so many interviews and so many like podcasts over the last month and a half. I'm just not. I'm not. So you can. There's a lot of different levels of success in life, and there's a lot of different things that would define that to different people and whatever. Most of the time, it's money in this world. I don't know. I don't think any of that stuff kind of matters. Obviously, you want money, and you know, you want security is probably more what you're after. My whole thing would just be like, I'm just going for it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not. I've been doing that for a long time now. At this point, going after what I think I need to be doing. So I'm just going to continue to do it. So I guess that would maybe separate me from being average, rather than settling for.
Right. Exactly. I love that, because settling would be probably about what everybody else is doing. I get that, man. I get that so much. And I know, like, in the short amount of time that I've known you, there's also this authenticity to you that is pretty refreshing. And for those that are watching, we do have a couple people. Leave us a comment or a question. And I did put your information down at the bottom for how to find Tim. The next question for Spitlights I want you to give me is, what is your go-to treat at the movies?
Oh, treat at the movies? I don't go to the movies really that often. But when I watch a movie, like if I'm going to have like a movie night or whatever, I'll probably make cookies and just like chill out.
What kind
I would prefer to. I go all over the place. I've been getting these things. They're called like, man, I hope I don't get her name wrong. I think it's like Amy's Cookies. I get them at like it's kind of like Whole Foods, but it's not. It's called Fresh Market. So they're a little like whatever. It might be Amy's. It's some, I don't know. It's somebody's name, but they're really good. And so I'll get those, and that'll kind of be my movie thing if I have to choose.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the question kind of just wants to touch on, like, I know for me, I kind of like popcorn's my answer, but the reality is that I like popcorn with my butter. So. Okay,
right. Yeah. Yeah, back in the day when you used to go to the movie theater, they would like layer it on, you know, some of them.
So what was your favorite toy as a child and why?
Oh, these are fun. This is a blast. Favorite toy as a child. I have my original like toy, like my stuffed animal hanging over in the back over there, and it was a monkey. His name was Kokomo Monkey. And I still have him hanging up.
How far away is he from you? Can you go grab him?
Yeah, I can go grab him. Hold on.
We gotta see this! Oh my god, you're my first guest that has one of his toys. Oh my god!
Man.
To see, this is one of what's cool about doing an interview like in the remote world, online and virtual stuff. Because if we were in a studio, you wouldn't have thought to bring your toy to share it with people.
No. I just happened to. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but I just happened to be like decorating and stuff. So this dude, I didn't get him on camera. So yeah, I've had this since I was like a little baby. He's missing an eye. I don't know how to sew, but I could ask my mom to do it. He kind of looks horrific with the one eye. And this is, I might have wore this as a kid, who knows? But he ended up in this. So I wonder if it has a date. A date anywhere.
I kind of.
But he has this little string on him, so I had him just hanging up over my desk. I was just like, yeah.
At first, I kind of thought Curious George, but he's not Curious George.
He's just like his own dude. He's just like his own guy.
You should totally make a comic strip about him.
I might. He's got a little string for him. You can make him sad if you want, I guess. And I broke the string. That's how old the string is. It'll stay like that. It might have been broke already.
And it could be an anti-bullying campaign. You could go all
right.
You could tell
he could be haunted. If I die, I might haunt him. I might leave him in the house. So yeah.
Okay, so I totally interrupted the answer to the question by asking you to go get the toys. So tell me, was he your favorite?
I mean, he's up there as a baby, you know what I mean? Like as a kid, like that's my dude. My sister had something and I had something. So she had like a Raggedy Ann type of thing called Freckles. And then that was kind of my dude that I had since I was a baby. Yeah, that's funny. So when you like so this kind of piggybacks onto the other question you asked. I'm drawing comics, like I'm drawing Ghostbusters, I'm drawing Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe. So I'm doing all the stuff that I grew up with anyway. So those things are just kind of reminders of like why I'm doing it. So actually, this will go with all the stuff. It's art. Anybody that does art, it's a tough gig. It is, man, and you got to be willing to take some pain. Like if you want to do it, you want to get to do all the stuff you want to do, you're going to have to take some pain. And it's good to have like reminders and positive reminders of like why you do stuff. So that's why he's hanging up over my desk. Just kind of like, dude, you're doing this. Maybe you create something that some other kid gets enjoyment out of and stuff like that. So that's why. That's
so true. That is so true.
It's not about you. That's something, if we're going to be super honest, that's something we have going on in our culture right now, and something we have going on with like nerddom or whatever it is, where people want it to be all about them as like a friggin' adult. And it's like, dude, it's not about you. Like, do it for the comics and cartoons. They can be enjoyable. I can still appreciate them as an adult, but they should be for kids, and they should be, this is my opinion, and they should be almost like fables or something like that. When you look at like something like Superman or one of those characters, they always do the right thing. They're always good. They always choose the higher goal over themselves. One of the greatest tropes in comic books or movies or superhero genre or hero genre is the sacrifice, the hero that will sacrifice himself for the greater good. Even in Ghostbusters starts off, these people are garbage. They're trash. He's always trying to like bang the students and stuff like that. And as the movie goes on, they eventually come to the point where they decide they're going to make the final sacrifice for the people of the city, possibly the world, by stopping Gozer. So they're ready to die at the end of that movie. They think they're going to die when they cross the streams. They say goodbye to each other.
I'm going to jump in and interrupt you for a second, Tim, because you were just talking about, giving back and how you do this. You're really not doing this for you. This is about who you're doing it for and the art and the premise of the show is spotlighting the Masters by Dori is kind of this cross between me soaking up or sponging up as much wisdom and information I can from the Masters while I have you guys on here. So I'm gonna just say it. What the fuck is a trope?
A trope, so I guess it would be something that it's used over and over again. We could look it up. That would be my short answer. Just something that you're going to see happen all the time.
So Because
the hero's parents die, and then he becomes like a superhero. Like Spider-Man's parents die, Batman's parents die. You know, like it's a little bit of the hero's journey goes on.
Okay, well, hero's journey I'm very familiar with, and the term trope, I've heard it a few times, and I you know, and you're right. Why should I need to ask you? I have Google. I mean, no offense.
No, I mean, if I'm using the word, I should be able to explain it. I should have an answer. Well, I'm bamboozling y'all. I'm just making up words trying to sound smart, you know?
Well, hey, you know what? But humility in that moment of, well, let's go look it up, like you just did. That's the same thing I would do. I would do the same thing. Just because I think I know the meaning or definition of something doesn't mean I'm going to try to wing it. So your next question is, what is the one thing you can't go a whole day without?
Oh, man. Probably, what do I do every day? Drink coffee every day. I like coffee. And I think I have, we joke about it on the stream. I probably have ADHD, which is funny to me. But I can drink a cup of coffee, like a huge cup of black coffee. I'll go right to sleep. I'll go right to bed, which is like a pretty good indicator that Shermanator's diagnosis is probably correct.
Well, and just give yourself a break, because a lot of people's intellect and their intellectual capacity and their ability to multitask often makes others think we are ADHD.
Right. Well, I take all that stuff as gifts, man. That's probably a gift,
exactly.
You know, a gift from above that I was given. So I just roll with it.
Right. So the next one is, what's the one thing, what always makes you smile, no matter what mood you're in, no matter how bad the moment is, what's going on, it's going to make you smile. Other than your rooster.
You know, and what's funny is I was going to say my animals usually do. I have a cat, I have 3 chickens, and if they, it's hard to be. And look, the rooster comes at me. He's gotten my leg before. He's chopped it up. But it's still like, that's who he is, you know. Like I can't be mad at him. He's a rooster. But I appreciate that. They make me happy. I don't know. Oh, and yeah. So obviously the chickens, you know. No, dude, I'm telling you, there's something like ancestral that goes on inside of us. I could sit out there that when they scratch for food, it's like looking into a fire. There is just something to it. I can't. It's fun to watch, man. It's better than TV. Oh, dude. Of course you know what I'm talking about. I got to do your sketch card. No, that's my buddy.
Okay. Because earlier when we got this comment, remember how we said, you know, is this your person or mine? Well, you probably shared out the YouTube link, right?
I did.
Yeah. So yeah, and they're watching on YouTube, so that makes sense that they found you. So okay, so that takes care of.
He's waiting for me to curse so he can get another sketch. That's the other thing we do. I'm trying not to curse on stream, so again, like I'm trying to make it all ages. But if I do slip, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ask a question. And,
okay.
And somebody gets a prize.
For my show right now, you can go rat.
Oh, and I will.
We're good. I was gonna say, I got no monetization on any of my shit. So
no, look, I am not a hoity-toity person by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying. That's okay. I'm trying, and I might change my mind. I might change my mind next week.
Now, so tell me what? Okay, you're drawing. Did you decide to do the widow?
Yeah. I'm doing the bad line. I might even start watching the show. I like her. She looks cool.
Okay. Show them again. Let me take this banner off. Show them again.
Oh, I'm real low. My bad. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, show them what you're doing. And
you know what? Hold up. I can't fix this.
We got some face stuff going on. We're not there yet.
Let me lower it a little bit so we can see. Yeah.
We are distracting him, everyone. Don't worry. We're about 40 minutes in, and I don't know how much time you prepped. Or actually, no, we've been live for 30 minutes. We're right actually around the time where I would put myself in the stream with you, but I'm having too much fun because I have more questions.
All right.
I might just sit back and let you do all your thing. Okay, so the next ones, if you thought those questions were inquiring.
No, go for it. I'm good.
And so make you dying. So here we go. If heaven,
a little trick I learned right before you go. Let me let you ask a question first before I say what I was going to say. Go ahead. Well, I might be biting my tongue if I say it.
This question might make you forget what you were going to say.
All right.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at those pearly gates?
That's yeah, the actor studio, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. You a bad motherfucker? Like you didn't quit, dude, you know? Like, all right, dude, you know, like we threw as much shit as we thought you could handle and you kept coming, so
I like that answer. No, but what would you like to ask God? What's the one prying, like on the tip of your tongue, edge of your brain question you want to ask God?
That's a tough one. I watch a lot of like interesting stuff during the day because again I'm here all day, so I'm watching all kinds of crazy things, and some of them get into like life. What is life? What are we here? Did we put ourselves here? Were we put here? Are we aspects of God? Like all kinds of stuff like that.
Right.
I don't even know at that point, would you even have anything to ask? Like you might even be in a state where all that stuff has made sense to you. I really don't know. It feels like this is some sort of a test, in my opinion. I think this is some sort of a test. But is it a test we chose? Are we on some kind of like prison planet? Like, I don't know. Is this purgatory? Is this hell? I don't know. So I don't know if I'd have an answer, a question.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd have one either because I'm kind of convinced that if going back to the first one, if it exists, I kind of like to believe that I would already have the answers. Like once I die, like the knowledge is gifted to you when you die.
Right. Like we might lose that here, or like, I mean, who knows? You don't know what, like, I'm telling you, I watched the show and I was listening to it this morning. I try not to before I go on stream because it'll put me in like in a fog, you know, I'll get too cerebral. But yeah, that's a lot of what the show's about. It's just kind of like, what are you here for? Like, it's deep, man. It's crazy. So yeah, I would think that it would probably become pretty apparent at the moment of death, or the moment of your life, you know, like maybe this is death. Exactly. Maybe you go back to like reality or something. I don't want to get like too crazy.
I think it's either Maureen O'Hara or one of the other actresses from that era who said that she believed that when she got to heaven that God was going to ask her, so how did you like heaven?
Right, that could be it too. Yeah, Bill Russell has that quote, like heaven would be a step down. He's a basketball player.
Exactly. Yeah, like we are in heaven, and I kind of truly like to believe that too. So
if you were like a perfect, okay, so there's a great Twilight Zone episode where the dude dies and he's in heaven and he keeps like, he wins every pool game, he wins every card game, every girl loves him and stuff like that. And after a while he kind of gets bored and he's just like, you know, he's asking his guide or his angel that's with him, he's like, hey man, he was like, what's you know, that? Yeah, like, you know, this is kind of getting boring. Can I lose one every now and again to make it a little bit more exciting and stuff like that? He was like, you know, what kind of heaven is this? And the guy's like, who said you were in heaven? You know?
That's
so. Cool. So if you were an eternal being, if you were an eternal entity or something like that, wouldn't you want to embrace some sort of like challenge? Wouldn't you want to go through some experience? And so that's where the toss up comes. Is this just? Are you a being being human? You know.
I like going outside of the box, thinking against the grain, going against the grain. Yeah. I like aspiring to be different. Anything that's not, like we were talking about earlier, anything that's not average, anything that's above and beyond, like, and part of the whole, you know, inviting you guys on, these genius masters of art that I've started to follow, you guys, and I know I'm going to say it for Tim because he's a pretty humble guy. I don't know if he'd talk about himself that way.
Yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't put myself in that category.
Pinner Down says Tim built his own box, and I love that because that's
Sherm.
That's fucking rad. That is Sherm. Oh, hi, Sherm. So I love that because I feel like that for myself, and that's another reason I want you to know. I want to say this, and I want you to hear me. One of the reasons why I gravitated to you and have become kind of like, hey, Tim, I'm your new best fan, is because when I find a badass motor scooter shark just taking it, you know, in my diva show, one of my sayings in my intro is taking life by like kicking life in the teeth. I like to kick life in the teeth on a daily basis until you're not fucking winning. I'm in charge.
But that's the other part is like, I'm not though. You know what I mean? Like I'm still screwing up, or I'm still getting upset, you know, and like,
and you're willing to say that you are.
Right. Like that's kind of my thing is, no, I'm not, you know, like I'm not the ultimate warrior by any stretch of the imagination, but, I don't know. I'm giving it a shot, you know, like I'm gonna keep going.
But I think you have what I think a lot of people are missing, that balance of aspirations and desires to succeed and have that. What's that I'm missing? What's that word? Motivation. No, it's not motivation. Ambition. The right amount of ambition, but yet enough humility to not let it make you, you know, a complete ass that nobody wants to be around. And speaking of asses nobody wants to be around.
What, Shermanator left another comment? What happened?
No, I don't know, Sherm. You can make comments. If you could damn one person to hell, who would it be? It doesn't have to be a person. It can be a type of, or it can be a human behavior. It can be something. If you really wanted to get rid of it, if you could eliminate, damn it, just get it away from humankind, what would it be, or who would it be, and why?
Man, you did bring some tough questions.
Nobody's show is like mine.
No, I love it. I wouldn't damn anybody. Maybe like, because I think all that stuff. So again, back to this, the show is Quantum of Conscience, just to give the guy some credit. It's not for everybody. I'm not saying like go watch it, because it's probably going to be, it's not for everybody. But no, there's a lot of belief that, or he is under the understanding, or he kind of leans towards that, like all that stuff's here for our benefit. All that stuff's here for our good. So you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's a tough one. I wouldn't want to say like I want to damn anybody or any activity, because that might be a learning tool for you. That might be something that you're benefiting from and you don't even realize it. So,
did you ever watch?
I'm opting out on that one. Oh wait, here's another thing I'm all about is false binaries. We're hit with a lot of false binaries these days. Ooh. You're hit with black and white, male, female, Republican, Democrat, and all this kind of other stuff. You don't have to choose A or B. You can choose another path. You can choose another option. Exactly. So just like that on this question, I am
my favorite.
I'm choosing another option.
I like abstain. I like the words abstain, which means I'm not going to vote. I'm done. I'm out. You know?
Right. Yeah, that's like your real. The real N word, like Owen Benjamin says, the real N word is no. You don't have to.
I'm not going to I'm not joining your debate. I'm not joining your team. I'm not going to join your definition. Like, don't give me a line. Like, don't give me a title. So this question I love what you're doing here. So for those of you watching, he is doing the widow from Into the Badlands. The last question of this segment is, what is the one truly taboo thing you'd probably not use for any of your creative works? Is there something that just irks you at a deep soul level that you would just, you're not drawing about it, you're not writing about it, you're not going to put it in any of your stuff?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. There's even been stuff that I've turned down.
Okay. Let's hear about that.
There's just things like, it was just like, I don't want to, again, I'm not, trust me, if anybody knows me, I'm not a prude. But yeah, I don't want to get like, I want to keep it fun. I want to keep it for kids. So I wouldn't do things that are like, I wouldn't do any kind of genetically engineering. I don't like doing, or social engineering. I don't want to do stuff like that. I want to keep it like pretty pure. And they're like, again, so just like hearing a rooster crow or staring at a fire, there are things that are ingrained in us, maybe in our genetic code. I don't know what the hell it is, but there are things that just resonate with us. And so when you go to either the story of like Jesus or Superman or Star Wars, the hero's journey, Harry Potter, for whatever reason, that just works. Like, it just makes sense to us. There's something in there that just hits, man. So I would rather focus on that rather than focus on like, we're trying to push this agenda or that agenda or something like that. Like that annoys me. That bothers me. And I think it takes away from the creative. It just ruins the creative process. There's a certain level of doing this that also you're not even in control. There's a certain
Right.
level of this where I'm not even a part of this. And when you can get to that point, back to balance, when you can get to that point, that's like when you're really doing some cool stuff. When you get out of your own way. So I would, and so when you're trying to push something, when you're trying to get, it just messes it up, man. You're not getting the, the message in.
So have you, this is not a question I have queued, but I'm just going to ask because I'm going to
go for it. That's whatever you want.
I'm going to turn my thing on. So other than what I know you do with others in terms of people you're working with and things, what do you do? Do you have anything you do to give back to your family, to your community, some kind of benevolent thing that you do?
If I did, I wouldn't really talk about it. I don't know. Like,
Well, hold on. That's the best answer I've ever gotten to that question, people. By the way, right? Like, you just nailed the fucking nail on the head, right? Like, why would we're not even supposed to do that? That's kind of the point.
Right. I mean, I don't know. If I'm asked to do some stuff and it seems like something cool, like I guess I'd do it or whatever. I don't know. It's a day-to-day thing. It's a day-to-day thing. And sometimes things are presented in front of you and the answer is very obvious, like something, what are you going to do? Are you going to do A or B? Are you going to ignore or are you going to go help or something like that? So that kind of stuff happens all the time. I'm sure everybody has the opportunity to walk the old lady across the street or something, whatever. So what is it? They gave him the medal for being humble, and when he put it on, they took it away. So yeah, man, you can't. It's kind of disingenuous if you do. I'm not saying I do. I might be a piece of shit. So you don't know, but we'll keep it like that. We'll keep it a mystery.
Okay. So basically now that I'm honestly really done with all of the primary spotlight, spitlights, and all that stuff, because normally in the realm of because you're my third master that I've had on my show, and so this is the part I mentioned to you where I'm gonna paint alongside you so that I can so the world can know and see me painting alongside this beautiful man. And so it's kind of more lax and definitely more relaxed. And so it's also that point in the show where I get to tell you you're kind of out of the spotlight, or more accurately, you're out of the hot seat.
It was easy. I like questions like that. Like I said, it's been so many just done so many friggin' and I'm grateful for it. I'm not saying it like that, but that's a long run, It was just like constantly doing stuff.
Yes.
So that was actually pretty refreshing. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Answer fun, deeper kind of stuff,
That is kind of like what, deeper, but I will say that, I mean, we did start off with peanut butter, chunky or creamy. So
right. No, that was the ruse. That was the trick to get me loosened up. Yeah, no, I get it.
It's I know how to loosen up.
Hey, show us your stuffed animal, and then it's like all of a sudden it's about like your higher being and whatever. Where do we go when we die kind of stuff.
That's adorable.
Which again, it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. I love it.
Oh yeah. So the other thing I'm gonna it's in for everyone watching. It is in the description for this video, but I'm gonna go grab it off of his site. So right now, Tim has a Indiegogo, right? It's Indiegogo campaign.
It is.
It's coming up on the end date, correct?
It is. I think Tuesday or something like that.
Okay. And it's called Night Stars, right?
Correct.
Okay. So why don't you talk on it a minute while I go grab this link?
So if you it's basically the story of three kids who are taken aboard a flying saucer, and when they're on there, the saucer kind of morphs around them and puts them in these suits and make them look like aliens, like little green men. But the saucer is actually a time machine, so it takes them back in time where they crash land in Roswell in 1947. So they're like the Roswell aliens. And from there, so Journey Through Time, kind of dealing with history's mysteries. Like they knock Amelia Earhart's plane out the sky. One of them falls in love with Anne Frank. They get a Yeti as a pet. All kinds of different things go on. It's something I've been working on for years. And I actually want to turn it into a webcomic as well. There's so much stuff like going on right now, technology-wise, and just how you consume media. And it's changing, and comics is finally kind of catching up to that. So I'm going to do my best to be ahead of the game or at the cutting edge as best as I can. And I think that's coming next. You don't keep asking everybody this. I'm like, dude, when was the last time you bought a CD? When was the last time you got the newspaper to get your news from, if you wanted to find out something? Like, you just don't anymore. It's just kind of where we're going. And as much as I do appreciate like tangible media, I'm starting to, I don't know. Like, I don't have any CDs. Like, I'm pretty set on Spotify. I'm pretty, I get it every year.
Yeah, I have, I use Apple. I don't know. I haven't really gotten into the Spotify world. I do have it on my phone and stuff, but only because earlier this year, I composed and produced a full-length music spoken word album.
Yeah.
And I did all my own music as poetry and stuff like that. And so that was pretty cool. And so I'm an artist on Spotify.
Right.
So
no, I mean, you could be paying Dori, it could be anything, but you're not like you're streaming music, like that's where you're going to get it now.
Yeah.
And you were joking yesterday on the stream about like getting the younger crowd in there and stuff like that. They're all over there. Like there's a heavy book reading community. I could just tell. Like when I gave that little pitch that I just did, when I would do that at a Comic-Con, most people are just going to be like, you can see when the light bulb goes off. It's usually around like Amelia Earhart, Yeti. They'll do the first one at the Roswell thing. They'll do the big one at that point. But man, if it was like a girl in like a TARDIS dress or a girl in a Harry Potter shirt, game over. It was just game over. But that crowd is not going to the comic shop as much. They're just not. They're getting it they're going to a different place to get it. So that why am I gonna, if I'm trying to get you to, if I want you to check out my art, I want you to check out what I'm doing. Well, I'm not going to make you come to me, I got to go to where you are. I got to go to where they are. So that's where that crowd is. They're all on the webcomic stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I know I've gone and I've looked at it and I have the link saved. I admittedly must say, I humbly apologize. I don't have a lot of reading time. So sitting and reading something or going through, even on a screen, I don't have a lot of time to do that. But
Right. And most people don't either. I don't either. But like the cool thing about a webcomic, because I do one with Chuck Dixon, the creator of Bane. It's on Archaven. If you just search Go Monster Go on Archaven, it'll pop up and it's free. And
I think it's one of the links I have on our. I think I included it in the links on your broadcast, but I can check. I know I have it saved for myself, but I'm pretty sure. So I have Instagram, YouTube, Team, eBay. Oh, I had your .com here, and I know it's on his .com.
It's on there. Yeah, you can LattieInc.com. It'll be there. It'll be like the second thing you can find.
Yeah, it's the second one on here where you click read for free. So for those of you that are watching, if you go to his .com, you click the one where it says read for free. Go Monster Go. Out in the desert of Caliente Springs, not far from Route 66, young men get their kicks. Drag racing, they're souped-up speedsters for girls, money, pride, and fame. But they are haunted by the legend of a ghost car, a 1954 Chevrolet that has an evil mind of its own. Go Monster Go is a brand new comic created by the legend Chuck Dixon, written by Chuck Dixon and illustrated by Tim Lattie, specifically for Arc Toons.
Yeah.
So
that is why he's Chuck Dixon and we're everybody else. Like, he's awesome, man.
So tell me for those of you watching, I'm not from Tim's world of comic books, but I am venturing into it. I do have a webtoons for my haikus as well as my comedy. I have like 2 fucking episodes on my comedy, although I have 15 years of material. So Tim, tell us who Chuck Dixon is. Tell me, my master Tim. Tell your novice Dori.
I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none. So, but when I'm growing up, I was reading a lot of Batman books. Like, so this is going to be the 90s. You're going to read a lot of, it was just a big deal. Like, so 1992, 93, 94, early 90s stuff. You had Nightfall, where Batman got his back broken and a new Batman took his place. That's when you had the death of Superman. It was just I consider it a golden age of comics. Like, it was just as big as it's ever been. And Chuck Dixon was the co-creator of Bane, who was, besides like the Joker, there's not really I guess Ra's al Ghul would be up there if anybody even knows who that is, but Bane would be more popular than him. So he wrote all the Batman books that I was reading as a kid. I was big into Robin because the Robin at the time was named Tim Drake, so we had that name thing. So I was big into Robin. He wrote Robin, possibly even created Tim Drake. I'm not sure. So we're talking about 20 years at least. He's working on these books and creating this mythos. Years later, I'm able to work with him on a webcomic, and it's cool. It's cool to even hear a sentence like that, so it's just one of those funny things that ended up working with somebody that was just, I don't know, that had a huge impact on my life. Probably. So you also got to imagine this, like how much of, like I was saying earlier about the hero mindset and stuff like that. How much of that is coming through the writer and the artist and everything. So how much of these ideas and this attitude is coming from like somebody like a Chuck Dixon or a Doug Monick or a Denny O'Neil. So I think he's just a good dude, and he's a hell of a writer. And man, it's pretty cool to be able to have to work with him, and see his scripts and stuff like that. It's really cool. And it's a fun book. Like, it's a super fun book. And I wouldn't even know what webcomics are if it wasn't for him. Like, I was messaging him to see if I could work with him and ended up on a webcomic. And now I'm just like, dude, this is like so obviously what's next.
Right.
And he's just ahead of the game. Him and everybody at Arctoons. So yeah.
If I come up to you tomorrow and you were to say if you could think of 3 things that you would want someone to say about you, so like, or not come up to you, but let's say I'm talking to someone and I go, hey, tell me about Tim. What are the 3 things you would hope that someone would say about you?
These are tough. I'm gonna answer it. The toughest questions for me are questions about like me, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't like. I'm such an asshole when it comes to like basketball. Like, if you ask me about like, dude, you think you're good at basketball? I'd be like, dude, I would beat anybody's ass. I'd be so cocky or whatever. And then like stuff like this, I'm like, I get real weird about.
All right, well then let's talk about you being single. So
okay, what you got? I said it. I'll dodge. That's fair. That's a fair trade. I'll answer this one. All right.
Okay. Tell me what your Tinder profile says.
I deleted my Tinder, so I don't know if Sherman's still here or not. No, like I'm talking about like yesterday, like 2 days ago. I deleted it because from the motivational videos, I like to start my day. I like to start the day with a motivational video. How many people wake up and then they start like looking at their phone and then you see something from the news or whatever, and it kind of sets a bad precedent for your day. I still look at my phone. I try to go to like Pinterest or somewhere where I'm kind of controlling what's going on more so than not. Because it's coming anyway. It's coming no matter what. You can't hide from it. But I would like to try to keep that first hour pretty positive. And watch a lot of motivational videos in the morning. And one of them is this guy Les Brown. I know we're talking about Tinder right now, but
the women out there need to know that we're not talking about the run-of-the-mill schmuck who's not got a soul or a spirit. This is a serious guy, people. He likes to be jokey, but he's a serious man. Okay, continue.
All right. But one of the things he says is that, and Sherman has heard this a million friggin' times.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of Sherman, I'm
all right,
here.
He's still here. All right. Wait, let's ask him. What am I going to say? What's the quote I'm going to say if you're still listening?
What are the three things someone would say or you'd want them to say about you?
No. What's the quote I'm about to say? You should know.
Oh, okay.
About like Tinder and life and everything.
Let's turn the tables on our guest in the comments and make them answer a Spotlights question.
He knows what it is. But the thing is if you want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep on doing what you're doing. So if I'm on Tinder or Bumble or one of these places and I'm not finding what I'm looking for, then why am I sitting here? Why am I going to stay on here?
Exactly.
If you're going to a certain bar or you're going to a certain thing and you're just running into like trash, well, dude, then you need to stop going there. Or maybe you need to look at yourself in the mirror as well. So that's all it is. And he brought up a good point that they don't want you to succeed. Because they're taking your data, they're taking your information. It's more profitable for them to not have you match up with the logical person that you should be matching up with. And that's why you end up in so many, hey, what you doing? Watching TV. And then every now and again you'll have somebody cool. Like I've made a lot of friends off of there, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, how many of those do you have? Like, hey, cool, hey, what you doing?
Yeah, I'm at the point now. I got enough friends. Okay, so he says, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna get what you're getting.
And he got close enough. That's close enough. That's solid. That's well done. I'm more impressed that you're awake right now, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I was trying to lighten the mood, but of course I was like, why do I always keep wanting to go serious? I don't know. Probably.
No, it's nice. It's nice. It's cool. Go for it.
Okay, good. Because, I was going to say, to be frank, part of why I feel like I'm going there and I continue to go there is because I know you've got the chops to have that conversation. There's a lot of people I've come across where I figure out real quick that they can't be philosophical and keep a kind, gentle spirit. And that's rare that someone can, because too many people get on a soapbox. I'm one of them. I can get totally soapboxy, preachy, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I try. I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm guilty of it all. I just try. If I'm conscious of it, I can try not to be. I don't know. And then again, like who the F are you? You know?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, I'm not the ultimate warrior. I'm trying to figure it out like everybody else trying to figure it out.
Right. So, digital. So So tell me what software you're using.
So this is a free program. It's called Sketchbook, and I just like the pencil better. I just like the pencil in here better. I
think I mentioned that to you. I know. So Sketchbook. So my very first master in your world that I came across was with Rich Parada, and he pencils and inks pieces live on YouTube. And at the time, this was earlier this year, I had never allowed anyone to see me do anything artistically like what you're watching me do right now, unless it was the only people that had ever seen me paint, sketch, or otherwise were family, my kids, and maybe a husband or a lover at the time. And I get into this world of following a few artists and comic people, and he had this live thing where he's doing this stuff live, and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm not showing anybody that part of me, that side of me. Sherm says 3 words to describe Tim: blunt, witty, and dynamic.
Dynamic, huh? Damn, dude. All right, I know blunt's on there.
I'll
take it. Good, you answered it for me. Good. We're at 100% now. Didn't dodge any questions.
That's rad. That's perfect. And I haven't known you very long, and I 100% agree with those.
But you know what I mean? Like, how do you even answer that about yourself? Like, I guess maybe like in a week I might be able to like sit here and think about that, and then it would still be like, I don't know, it's so weird.
The question was more, what would you want people to?
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. Right.
Like I want people, if I had in a dream world, like where I hope that someone would say that I was a kind, sweet, nice person. Kind, nice, or sweet. If they say any of those three words to describe me, I'm happy. But I'm also the chick that's happy when they say she is fucking savage.
Right. Yeah, I was about to say I kind of like the blunt's my favorite part of that one.
Yeah, I got a reputation.
That. Yeah.
100%. You can line up 100 or 1,000 people that have met me or ever known me, and 100% of them are probably going to tell you that I am 100% capable of being ratchet, straight, savage, street. Like we're gonna
right. Like, no, I'm an old-fashioned asshole for sure.
Oh,
so that works for me.
One of my haikus is, "Sweet girl I am, yes. Don't underestimate me. Cut a bitch, I will."
Sounds like Yoda. Sounds like something you hear on Dagobah.
It was actually written on purpose to sound like Yoda.
Oh, really? Okay, funny.
Yeah. I mean, I could have written that haiku with the third line not sounding so Yoda-like, but I wanted it to sound Yoda-like on purpose, and so. But it speaks to that true inner balance. I think that probably is better for us to survive life, is to be kind and nice and all those things. But I think if we didn't have the capability of going savage when we need to, we would get walked all over and people would take advantage of us. So to some degree, you have to kind of develop thick skin, tough kind of exterior, an ability to be in adverse situations.
I would there's a lot of times. So again, truth flows through art. It does. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it works. I don't have an answer for you. I can't pinpoint it. And sometimes it comes in mundane and strange forms. And a good one is Karate Kid. If you go look at a movie like that, the whole theme of the movie, the whole message is balance. That's him sitting on top of the pier doing the crane and stuff like that. It's balance and like knowing when to use the kick, knowing when to do this or do that and stuff. Wax on. I'm telling you, that whole movie is deep. I rewatched it the other day and I was just like, dude, who wrote this? Like, it's so good. And that's Miyagi's message. That's the whole thing.
Yep.
It's awesome. Awesome film. So yeah. I'm sure there's a fancier or classier way to get to that knowledge, but if you're basic like me, you can go watch Karate Kid and get get your Eastern knowledge from that.
I put your quote on the screen because I love it. I had to save it. I think I've probably done that maybe out of all the spotlight shows that I've done. I've probably had someone say something so profound that I've had to put it on the screen maybe like 3 times. So that was important. Truth flows through art. And it's crazy because so you can't really see it, but I'm going to just do this for a second. Oh, wait, it doesn't let me? That's so weird. Oh, maybe not. No. Oh, maybe this will work. So this you can't really see, but I'm going to turn it. But this is the cover.
Nice.
It's basically a burlesque. She's in kind of a somewhat burlesque outfit, but she's got a Mardi Gras mask, as you can see.
Yeah.
And the name of the book is called "This Is Not Emotional Burlesque." Is the name of the book it's for. And it's a book about, it's a poetry collection, but it's a poetry collection where the poems are more narrative and epic form as opposed to just regular rhyme or stanzas and stuff. But the whole premise is really honestly more about how these are poetic story narratives of some hardcore truths. And I love what you said about, truth flowing through art, because this is the first time I'm illustrating one of my poetry collections. So there's that. I did illustrate a haiku series, but that was, I mean, it wasn't no small task. But this bad boy, this book is a whole different fucking thing. There's like 30 something odd poems in here. And I am using a lot of French themes because I grew up in the South, as you know.
Right. Yes.
And so a lot of it has to do with what you were just saying, and how I'm basically I'm now in, I mean, so earlier this year, I wouldn't let anybody even watch me paint, or see me paint. And I'm following like Rich Parada and Christy Shin and a few other artists out there. If I had known you then, or you were streaming then, I probably would have come across you a lot sooner, because I was hunting for people who were art streaming like what you're doing. So there's a ton of us out there that are going to try to find you. And as you saw yesterday, tell everyone what happened to you yesterday on Twitch.
I might need Sherm for this one, but yeah, like at the end that we got raided, like all kinds of stuff happened. So that was my first affiliate day, which was cool. And then right at the tail end, Sherm had to go to work. My buddy Travis, who's another great artist, he was winding down for the night, and all of a sudden a guy raided us, sent in a bunch of viewers, and then we got some other thing. What was it called? Something train. Some kind of train thing. So it was just like a bunch of things happening at once, a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it was just fun. So we sat there and talked for a little bit longer and like got to hang out. And that's something I'm going to try to work on this weekend. It's just like hooking up emojis and all like the fun stuff for the stream. Which again, Sherm, I can't do it without him. He's been clutch. Look, we were even like fighting not fighting, but like arguing the other night, because I was like streaming on everything. And we were at the bar, and look, if you can prove it to me, truth is truth. You know what I mean? So if you can prove it to me, cool, man. I'll just have to accept it. So we're sitting there, we're at the bar, we're probably a few beers deep. He's probably drinking a bunch of mango tango or something weird like that. And he eventually sold me on Twitch. I was just like, all right, dude, like F it, man. Like, what you got, dude? And yeah, by the end, he was just like, all right. And I think it was the right call at the end of the day, for sure. It seems so. Like, it's only been 2 weeks, and we're doing better there than we were streaming to everything, Nice. Because you kind of separate you separate your audience. If you're on D Live and this and Trovo and this and that, well, dude, then you're all over the place. You might have 10 people following you, but they're on 5 different platforms, So it just makes sense. Like, logically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So we are on Twitch now.
That's rad. And you got rated yesterday.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. I need to go thank the guy. I'm gonna go follow him on Instagram and give him a big thank you, because that was super cool.
And and I don't know if you did it or if it was suggested to you, if Sherm said something, but the other thing you would want to do if my brother were here, he would say, is you got to make sure next that you do that for someone else. When you're on stream and you've got a bunch of people in your thing, and maybe you're done and you're going to go offline, but before you go offline, go raid someone with your piece.
Yeah, he had to go to work. We did that the other day, and it was this girl who does awesome art, Senzi, and now we're friends on Instagram. We might go play Left 4 Dead or something like that one night. Like, she ended up being like really cool, and you could just tell it's just a nice gesture. Like, you could tell it woke her up, just like it woke me up yesterday. It was like just super cool.
Well, I came back. I was getting ready to leave work, and I had been listening with you guys in the background, because I was at work when you were on, and then I'm like literally almost to my car. When I look at, I put it on, I go back on, and I put you back on so I can have you guys in my car when I'm driving home. And I look at it says 60 people were watching, and I'm like, oh, he got rated. That's like,
yeah. And trust me, I was whining. I'm like, all right, I'm thinking, like, what am I getting for dinner? I'm ready to have a beer. I'm ready to chill out. And
you're like, nope.
I was like, sir, what do I do? What do I do? He's like, dude, you got to hang tight for another 30 minutes, bro.
Exactly.
You can't go anywhere. I was like, all right.
What do I do? You be you, boo, and just keep doing your stream, because these people are here now.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll come back. That was fun.
So how much? I didn't actually give you any time of how long we would be at this, and I'm whenever you are done or ready to be done, you just tell me, and I'm definitely can start wrapping it up if you. I don't know. We are a little over an hour.
Let me finish this lady and we can do it. But no, it's fun. I'm having fun. There's like I said, I was getting kind of worn out by all of them, and this has been very refreshing. So thank you.
Okay. Yeah, well, I've been known to take hostages, and I'll fucking paint next to you for the next hour. But I just want you to not worry about me. Like, so when you're ready, you just tell me, and we'll wrap it. So and when we do, before we go, whenever that happens, I do have your campaign queued so that we can talk about it a little more and show us people again. So the other thing I want to talk about with you while I've got you is, I grew up 45 minutes outside of New Orleans in a parish called Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah.
So do they still call them parishes down there? Louisiana hasn't been.
Absolutely, no, we haven't lost that yet. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I was gonna say.
No, it's still parishes. I hope that one stays. Yeah. So no, I haven't been out there. I was talking with my buddy about they have like a Rougarou Fest. So I kind of want to go to that if the weather's nice in like October. Basically that's like a swamp Yeti, a swamp Bigfoot. And they have like a cool festival. That sounds like it'd be fun.
Now you're younger than me, and I can't remember when. I don't think it happens anymore, but there used to be this huge festival down where I grew up called Lagniappe.
I don't know. Maybe they do have a Lagniappe festival. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. They have, but you got to think like out here. There's so many friggin' things now. I mean, before COVID, it was like something every weekend. Like there was always an event.
And gambling's legal there now, right?
Yeah, gambling's been legal. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think at least us in Mississippi.
Yeah, I've lived here for 32 years, so it's been a while since I've lived back home. Okay. And you're in New Orleans?
No, I'm in Metairie, so I'm right outside of New Orleans. Like if you know where that's at, it's like right outside.
Wait. Sherm says it's the guy that does tattoos a lot. Ooh. So, oh my God. Okay. I don't know what Sherm does, but I know you're an artist, but I'm the artist that will humbly admit the only reason I don't have a tattoo is because I've never met an artist I have liked enough to be willing to let them put something permanent on me. I am that judgmental about my body.
I just changed my opinion too much. Like I can't look at. I gotta rearrange like everything every so often. So I can't imagine having something on me like permanently. Nothing against like I'm sure that's a whole nother talent right there. You know, like you ain't erasing a tattoo. So
you just said in words what I couldn't articulate because that's so me. Because I don't do well, and I think I kind of told I don't do any kind of sequential art of any kind. It doesn't have any I don't have any interest for it. Nothing against it. You guys I don't know how you do it. It blows me away that you guys can do any of that stuff. It's just whoa. But that's why I don't. That's why my paintings are as like I try, even if I don't want to try, I end up doing these really unique things that they don't look like anything else.
But you got to follow your muse, you know, like you just got to like,
and then you just do,
and with Sherm was not following his muse. Now we get blunt, in my opinion, and and like he's
you under that bus, Sherm. Tell it.
But the dude is like just super friggin' talented at other stuff, like the computer aspect, and just I don't know. I've just seen him do stuff over the last like really just few months, particularly that I'm just like, what? Like, where did this come from, man? And I think that's where his future. I think that would be a good place to look. Anyway, like the dude's just he just understands it way too well. He's too good at it to like go do something that has nothing to do with that. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. That makes perfect. I totally.
Like you're a great chef and you like, I don't know, you want to go do construction. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know, it doesn't make it's ridiculous. Oh, I want to be a fisherman.
you're kind of, the comic's gonna show up for a second and go, you're kind of talking about how, like, sometimes I think I really probably should just get that OnlyFans, because I mean, I see some of the artwork out there and campaigns like that have like yours and books that I want and all these things, and I'm like, I can't afford this new one. I can't afford all these comic books, and I can't afford this art over here and this art over here. I either need to sell some of my art so I can go buy some art, or I might just have to do that OnlyFans.
The oldest, in my opinion, the oldest trades in humanity are prostitute. Well, I guess the three oldest are going to be OnlyFans, prostitutes selling sex on some level, right. Hunter, because you got to go look for food, so that's going to be the oldest, and then comic book artists. So, like, the oldest things that you're going to have, what are cave drawings? What are hieroglyphics?
Yeah, exactly.
What are all that? Those are comic books. They're telling the story of a great hunt. They're telling the story of a king, or the Book of the Dead and all that kind of other stuff. So that's sequential art. That's comic books. Random segue, but it was just on my mind. When you were talking about it, I was just like, I think the precursor to written language is comic books, because everything you can look at the Chinese symbol. He is Alfred Pennyworth Jr. for sure, and he controls everything down in the Lat Cave.
That's awesome. Well, so going back to Louisiana, so we know there's gambling there now and stuff, but they haven't legalized prostitution the way that Vegas has, correct?
No, but I mean, like, you could get on these sites like Bumble and stuff, and there's always like masseuse, and look, there's a place by the bar me and Sherm go to that is a masseuse.
Well, you just kind of touched on a little bit of a theme of one of my jokes about, the only reason that male prostitution is not as big or prevalent as women.
Because nobody would pay for it because you get it for free?
Well, exactly. Like, no offense, gentlemen, but women don't have to sleep alone. There's no such situation where I am ever having to actually sleep alone. If I sleep alone, it's because I've chosen to. Because if I don't want to be sleeping alone tonight, that's a quick pass through my phone. Now, I'm not saying the first guy I call is going to say yes to coming over, but that's just a matter of going through some numbers for me.
I would. You're not going to get an argument from me on that one. It's true. It's just true. That's life.
Yeah. But so of course I'm, and I know I'm not unique at this, but I am that girl that if I had 10 guys' names in my phone and I know the guys, or I've gotten to know the guys or whatever, if I come across the one guy, that special, oh so unique unicorn, who's the guy that would say no, the guy that's not interested in that he's just not, or if he is, he's, he's going to go get it where he's going to get it, and he's not going to bother with a good girl. He's not going to bother. Anyway, that guy is probably the one I'm going to get hung up on.
But that's how it works, though. That's how it works. No, I know all this. I know all this too well.
Yeah,
I can only agree. Like, I don't want to. I mean, it's true. But then what do you? So just be like that in life. You know what I mean? Like, but I always tell Sherm this all the time too. Like, you're the prize, bro. You know what I mean? Act like it, or you're gonna. 100%. If you, that's why they came up with that word thirsty. If you're gonna be out there being thirsty and stuff, nobody's interested in that.
Yeah,
I'm a gangster.
I'm the same girl that's gonna high five you if you're a sexually liberated person, because I do some work as a persona called Diva Dori, and it's all about sexual liberation and not allowing society's constructs of dictates to tell me that if I want to be a free loving sexual woman, I got no fucking apologies for it. But there's a place and a time for that, and there's a place in and if I'm choosing it, that's one thing, but thirsty is that's not a situation I find attractive at all for me or for the guy at all.
No, I don't think anybody does. That's not. Yeah.
And like,
it's a good term. It's a new term, but it's an appropriate one, you know. Yeah, when you act too thirsty, it's
some of the new terms. I'm so glad they came along, and thirsty is definitely one that I'm like, that put a word to some behavior that needed a word for a long time. Similar to gaslighting, the word gaslighting is not new, but what it conveys,
I don't think it is either. Yeah,
what it conveys is definitely not new, but we're using it more than we ever did before.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah, I don't know. That's both of those, and I don't usually like the new terms the kids come up with these days, but that's a good one. Yeah, gaslighting. I never really heard that growing up. Like, so I guess that's a new one too.
Yeah. And what's crazy, Tim, is that, you know, because being from New Orleans or being near New Orleans, you know, like the gas lamps in New Orleans, I don't know if you know the history behind them, but gaslighting, the term gaslighting, the reason it conveys what it conveys about making someone out to be insane goes back to the actual act of gaslighting and having to go at night and light the gas lamps. And so when you're gaslighting someone, it's like you're lighting them up. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing what Google taught me, because Google's one of my masters.
No, I'm big into etymology and the meaning of like words and phrases and what their source, what the source is. So yeah, that's super interesting. I feel like I have heard it before, but I forgot.
I had to look it up. Yeah, I had to look it up. I'm like, what does this mean?
I think I guess it got him. Like, yeah, there's some story, but yeah, I think there's something else going on there.
But going back to
same thing with like lunacy, you know, and things like that. So you got to start to wonder like why did those phrases come up? Why does gaslighting's easy, but like lunacy and stuff. Interesting. I love all that kind of stuff.
What you were saying about Sherm being the prize. So Chelsea Handler is a perfect example of a sexually liberated comic. She's a woman who, her comedy and things that she says, she also gets a little too political, but that's another fucking topic. But she goes, listen, guys, if we're sleeping with you on the first date, we don't want to call you tomorrow either.
That could be true, but like you said, a woman can go get it anywhere. So be picky. You know what I mean? Like you can be a little more picky with it, I guess. Where like a guy, like it kind of, I don't know. There's a certain like it's interesting. But guys can't just go out and hey, I'm here. Generally,
I think that. Yeah, generally, no, maybe not. But I think that the right guy with the right charm and the right behavior probably could successfully do that just fine. I've met
probably
a few.
True.
I've met
probably
a few. And they got enough swag. They got enough comedic. Actually, if you got enough comedic ability to make a woman laugh or make women laugh in general, you're probably always going to get laid every time.
I mean, you're just describing Sherm right now. He's the he's the reason we got any girls in there usually. Yeah. So he keeps them in.
That's adorable. Well, no matter what we've been talking about, what I just, I don't know. No one asked me, but I'm going to say it out loud. It's a life it's a life I don't live anymore at all. Like I'm a 51-year-old mom of 2 boys. So my world is very different than what it used to be. I've done it.
Oh, no, I'm going through that. I'm about to be 40. So, I mean, I get it. I'm just kind of like, all right, man. And look, all that stuff gets tiring too. You know, it just is.
Looking amazing, Tim.
Oh, what's that?
Your widow. I'm digging it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. No, I like her. I might watch this show now. Like she's a good selling point. She's cool.
Yeah. So Into the Badlands. It was funny. Originally I was asking if it had ever been a comic book, and I was on a stream, and someone that was in the chat said that it wasn't, but that they had thought about it, and it would make sense because it's got a lot of martial arts, and okay. I can't remember the name of the guy who does the choreography for the fight scenes, but he's someone who's done the choreography in quite a few martial arts movies, and the main character is a guy who I want to say he's on The Good Doctor now. He's an actor who's on The Good Doctor. And I think it's done. I'm not sure they're coming out with any more, which is cool because sometimes when I want to watch a series or think about watching a series, I kind of like knowing that it's over because I don't have to worry about, getting them too excited or worrying about the, when's the next one going to come out. I think it depends.
I kind of like that it feels, I like underground, so I never really heard of this one. It's not like Breaking Bad where everybody's like, dude, you watch Into the Badlands yet? No, yeah. And it's cool. And I like this, I don't know when it takes place. Is it like specific to a time or is it kind of like fantasy?
Okay, so get this. And this is one of the reasons I like it, and then why I found it, because I'm a huge post-apocalyptic drama is what it is.
Okay,
It's a post-apocalyptic drama, and it's been described as a high-octane sci-fi martial arts series. The series follows a warrior and a young boy who journey through a dangerous feudal land together seeking enlightenment. And that is the point, or I forgot about that. So the widow, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers. The only thing I disagree.
This might get watched. All right.
Because that thing about with all these shows you've been on and stuff, one of my biggest complaints, and I'm going to about not you didn't do this, but some people who are pitching their comic book or pitching their thing, they tell me way too much of the fucking story. I'm like, shush.
You got to have that for anybody young out there, or anybody that's trying to do something like this, dude. Do it. It's elevator pitch. You got 2 sentences. If I went and saw. Well, look, you can do it with Into the Badlands. You pretty much just sold me on it. You were like, it's post-apocalyptic, martial arts future, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds cool. So that's all I needed. Okay.
It's in a territory known as the Badlands, encompassing several states located between the Rocky Mountains and Mississippi River. A feudal society has developed to fill the power vacuum left by the war. And that's controlled by barons and these people who monopolize the commodities. Have you ever seen Hunger Games?
I saw the first one.
I don't remember what preceded what, but this is not really like Hunger Games at all. But it is in the sense that each of the barons control a certain part of the trade stream. Okay. Like there's a baron that controls oil, or there's a baron that controls, like the widow in her case, I can't remember. I think she controls, I don't remember, slaves. Someone controls, and so they all have what's called cogs, and then there's a prostitution class of women who are called dolls, and it's fucking insanely good. And there's 3 seasons. There's 3 seasons. There might be a 4th, but it isn't for sure. But I want to say it was on Netflix, and I'm pretty sure it's still on there. I want to say it's an exclusive. It's an American television series that originally premiered on AMC. And it was canceled by AMC in 2019. The series finale was May 6th of 2019. So there you go. So it may or may not ever get rebooted or rebirthed or whatever. But you have 3. I love it. I love it when I find something like that, because it's kind of like when you watch 3 seasons of something like that, it's kind of like you're gonna sit in and settle in for a really long movie.
No, it sounds pretty awesome. I probably will watch it because I like a little. I'm glad it's not historical in the sense of like they're trying to like reimagine, I don't know, whatever, this time period. I'd rather it just be like fantasy. No. Like I see a dude with a crossbow in some of the pictures. Like I don't know, it looks awesome. Looks freaking really cool, actually.
Sonny, the main character warrior guy, the one that meets the little boy, and the boy and the widow have a gift, and I'm not going to tell you what or why or any of that, but they have a gift, and Sonny is this warrior who's, it was so good. And I'm all about martial arts. I love martial arts. But
there we go. That's the Badlands woman. I think I might turn it into a sticker.
Ooh, that would be rad. Yeah, so she, in all of the world of all of my art, she's really the only character from something that I've done in painting. I've actually painted her. Partially because of the red hair and the fact that I may not have red hair now, but I grew up a redhead.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, because I'm an Irish Catholic Cajun coon ass girl from
right. No, same. Yeah, they don't. That's the rarest genes on the planet. is a redhead. That is no doubt about it.
I turned my hair turned white in my 20s or so, and I colored it for a really long time, and I'm now color free for 4 years. I stopped coloring it.
Nice.
Yeah. So going, I was asking you questions about. So if she's done and you're done, we can wrap this up.
Yeah. I got yelling chickens. I'm hearing in the corner. They've been and look, here's the other thing about having chickens. I kind of want to bring one inside, but I'm not going to do that. They're a little more difficult than the stuffed animal. But yeah, like sayings that we use in friggin' everyday life, it starts to make a lot more sense. Like they are literally cooped up right now. Like they've been bitching all morning. I almost let them out for a few minutes when I was like, nah, I'm going to be late for the stream. So like you can just tell like we had chickens for a very long time in life,
right.
Or our ancestors did, you know?
Yeah. So for those of you that are watching, I just added his Indiegogo campaign to the stream. And this is called Night Stars Volume 1. And it says 4 days left.
Yeah, we have 4 days left where it looks like we're at 63%.
Yeah.
If we don't hit that goal, if something happens, we put in the work. If not, I've already talked with Archaven, and it's going to be it'll be a webcomic regardless, so it's not going anywhere.
Well, it says 125-page hardcover. I'm assuming that you could still probably, maybe put this on your website for someone to do maybe a print on demand kind of thing, maybe.
So that's what my producer, my buddy Sherm, that's what he's been pushing for that too, dude. He was just like, dude, let's build the Twitch, let's build the audience. Yeah. So what happened a lot of time for me, I was just happy to be doing the stuff I was doing. Like, hey, I'm drawing Ghostbusters. Hey, I'm drawing Ninja Turtles, whatever. And then I just stayed quiet. I would watch TV. I would watch all kinds of craziness. And I wouldn't do the self-promotion part. So the benefit, one of the main benefits of this whole process over the last 2 months is that at least it got me out of my comfort zone and put me in places where people can see me, get to know me, and I can talk about the book and stuff like that, you know? So I don't think we're going to get funded, honestly. I'm not upset about it. I think it's probably a really good lesson, and we just come back fresh. Because it's not the story. It's not the project. I don't think I got in front of enough people. I think that's been the problem the whole time. And it just slipped away. But now I love it, man. I got more stories I want to do. And I'm already thinking about how this, like, pages like that. I'm already thinking how pages like that will work as a webcomic. Like, how would I transition into that, you know?
Well, I do, I hope that, I would love to see this, of course, succeed, but I also love your attitude about it. And I think that that's refreshing because I think we've had a lot of, I'm super new to the world, but I've watched a lot of streams and I've watched a lot of campaigns, and you have this really very high quality product, in my opinion, that's got tons of content, tons of pages, tons of material. They're not just getting one story. The story's actually done. That's my favorite part about it. Done. For all of you out there that are watching, we're not talking about a book that isn't done. We're not talking about something someone hasn't finished. Not that there's anything wrong with that, anyone who's listening. I appreciate as a consumer. I haven't been able to back it just for financial reasons, but there's so many places you can do this and get it if you wanted to. I'm assuming you've already talked to printers maybe about who. Yes.
That's where we came up with the price. That's where we got the price that we have.
Yeah,
but then you got to think about it like this. Like, why are you doing this? Why do you do this show? Why do you do anything? And are you going to go pull the sword from the stone? You know what I mean? Like, are you going to be true about it? Why are you doing this? If it's to make a buck, I don't know. There's a lot of ways you can go work for a bank or an insurance firm or something like that. If you want to get your art out and you have something you want to do, hey man, just put it up. That's why I'm kind of like, man, I'll just do a webcomic. Then everybody can read it. Then
in a print on demand book that, if people want to get that book,
print on demand book, we could do that as long as there's like a quality control. Or maybe again, I look at this as I really do. I'm not. This isn't like BS that I'm spitting. Like I'm very happy with the way this has turned out. I did like some big shows. I did a bunch of shows. And like I said, it got me out of my comfort zone. It got me to do my own Twitch show. It got me to learn how to self-promote, which is something I just, not that I couldn't do it, I just didn't do it, or I felt like it was like, I didn't want to be like a used car salesman or something. You know what I mean? So that's
your Twitch show is affiliate, and you've got people that can subscribe now. I was driving during your raid, so I couldn't participate in like what's going on here. But I'm seeing it is. I've gone on. I have there's a few I follow a few streams, and when I'm watching them, like stuff will happen. And I love your idea about what you're gonna have it say or do when someone follows and subscribes. What is it called? Team Activate. Do the thing. What do you want to do?
Yeah, that was an old cartoon show called Bionic 6. So they go like Bionics on, and I'm thinking about doing that.
Yes. Oh, I remember.
I've been brainstorming all night. Trust me, I didn't go out. I didn't have a sip of beer. I laid in bed and I brainstormed, and I was just like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?"
Okay. So you've been off the spot or out of the spotlight, off the hot seat for a while. So this is the part of my spotlight shows. Okay. Other than asking me why I do these shows, because everyone asks that's boring, and I know you're not an average guy, so you're going to want to think outside the box. So don't ask me why I do spotlights. But otherwise, you get to put me on the spot, and you get to ask me whatever you want to ask me. And you haven't known me very long, but just, an inquiring minds want to know question. Cue question to Dori. No filter. I can't be blackmailed. You can ask me anything, no sugarcoating, and I'm going to answer you. So what do you want to ask?
It's not, I guess, you can't ask why do you do the show, but what is...
everyone asks me that question.
Right.
You haven't figured it out by now. I don't know how to tell you.
Right. I don't know. How do you think it benefits you in life? You know what I mean? I just talked about how the Indiegogo, even though it's very likely not getting funded, but it benefited me unbelievably. How does this benefit you? And not like whatever, I'm monetized or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
I love everyone asks that question, and I guess there's a reason why, because it seems like it is like the most common question I get from anyone. So have you ever seen the movie Benny and June?
No, I think I've heard of it though.
Okay, so there's two.
Now I want to ask another one.
Really significant. The list of significant moments in my life is extremely long. Like I could write another book about it. Okay, but two movies that struck me as an artist. These are like deep down artist moments as an artist. Is Benny and June and 9.5 Weeks. Now, in Benny and June, June's character was an artist. She was a painter. And they had a housekeeper, and her housekeeper was named Mrs. Smails. And Smails was what she called her muses. And so June would latch on to a muse, or what she'd call a smail, and they would muse her art out of her creativity out of her. And so when this housekeeper quits, June's like, she's like losing her mind because the housekeeper quit and she doesn't have a smail. And then Johnny Depp's character comes along, and she wants the brother, who she lives with, to let her have him because he moves in with them, and they make him the housekeeper, and she's begging her brother to let him stay because she's saying to him, she's like, he's my new smail. I want him to be my smail. And I, as an artist, I can relate to that desperation of feeling in her voice in her moment where she's begging to have this man in her life who's the smail to bring her creativity and her art out. So why I do spotlights, why I got the conception last year to do this show and do these kinds of shows where I'm putting the spotlight on another creator, on another artist, is because I would not want to be here or continue to want to do art if I didn't find people like you to pull out that June moment where I'm like, I'm going to need Tim. I'm going to need Tim in my life. I'm going to need that muse. I'm going to need Tim as my smell, one of my smells. So I do the show.
No, that's better. So again, like I'm all, that's my big thing though, is like, what's your why? What's your, Eric Thomas says that, what's your why?
What's
So,
my why? That's my
right.
why.
And hopefully that goes to other people too. You know what I mean? Like maybe that'll be, we got, I don't know if Wilfred Estevez is still in the chat, but supposedly he's writing again. I can't wait to see some of that stuff. So,
so that is my why. That's my why to why I gravitate towards others, artists, and why I gravitate towards people who are creative, why I find, but now, I mean, you can be a Michelangelo. I mean, I haven't met anyone at Michelangelo level, but they could be like that. And if they're an asshole, I'm out, so there's that. So I'm just drawn to the artistic. I'm drawn to the brilliant. I'm drawn to someone exactly like you. And so you are.
I was about to say, and then you ended up with me on the show, but yeah.
So, and the other thing real quick is Farnsworth. So 9.5 Weeks is a movie that is a lot about sex, and there's a lot of sex and blah, blah, blah. But who cares? I mean, that relationship in the movie, whatever. But the side story that she has with this painter called Farnsworth is my favorite part of that movie. And Farnsworth is this really reclusive, eccentric man who lives out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And she goes to talk to him about his showing and his paintings, and he's not answering the phone. And I'm a painter, so that's an example of my artwork behind me. That's what I normally would be doing.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. All right, yeah.
You would not. The only reason I'm doing artwork on paper now is because I'm illustrating my poetry book, and that's otherwise that's where I go. I paint on. I transitioned to canvas 2 or 3 years ago. But Farnsworth, she's asking Farnsworth about his paintings, and she's like, "There's just something about them." And he says to her, he goes, "There's something in a moment that's so familiar." And that's the moments he tries to paint. So his paintings are these moments that to him strike him in that moment, and they feel familiar. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but most of the artists that I like, you and Rich Parada and Peter, these are artists that I've come across in my life, and it's not like they're a mirror of me, but there's something about them or something about it that's so familiar. Almost like a deja vu or nostalgia or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we might have done all this before anyway, so yeah.
Exactly. And so those are my answers to your question.
No, I might watch both of those movies, and I love Mickey Rourke. I was looking it up while you were talking. I was like, all right, what is this movie? When did this come out? That's crazy.
I love that you're inquisitive. Go and look stuff up like that, because that's a good one to watch. What was the other one I named? Benny and June.
Yeah, Benny and June.
Aiden Quinn.
There's a Sandman story by Neil Gaiman, and it reminded me of that when you were talking, where like the dude he literally traps a muse, like an angel, in his attic, and he keeps her there. And I guess he sucks the loosh out of her, you know what I mean, and uses it for his own creative selfishness. And then when she finally breaks free, like he's bankrupt, he has nothing he can do. It's a really good story. It's crazy.
The muses, so the muse thing, Zeus's muses, I think were this is one of those moments where I rarely do this, but so Zeus there were 9 muses. I don't know if you've ever followed mythology, but
I do. So
the 9 muses in Greek mythology were goddesses of the arts and sciences, and they were the daughters of Zeus, the king of gods, and Mnemosyne, something, the goddess of memory. And I think they were entrusted to the god of art or something. I can't remember which one. It doesn't matter. So I talked about the muses and Zeus and stuff in a Diva series, but I have a novel that is about a third of the way written, but it's called The 10th Muse.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
And I'm not going to say any more.
I like it just off the name. Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah, it's definitely not about reality, but it's definitely about a 10th muse that no one knows about.
There's I've been digging into that stuff more and more, and there's definitely some interesting stuff to it if you go look.
Oh yeah. And if you look at Greek versus what's the other one? The two mythologies were Greek and Roman, because they had like there was Zeus, but there was also the other god. There was like a god for each. Like Greek mythology and the other mythology they're very very similar, but the gods had different names. There was a different
Right, and they had killed another god before them. They had defeated. So if you look at something like Back to the Future, that's I don't know how conscious they were of it. I debate it, but that's all about the Titans, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades defeating their father Kronos, who is time. And that's the whole movie's about that. Like, it's crazy. So Marty would be Hades. Doc Brown, he literally channels lightning, so he's Zeus. And then Poseidon shows up at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and then they defeat time at the end of the movie. So there's a lot of no. You start digging in, it gets pretty trippy.
A lot of literature can be traced back to mythology, because even Romeo and Juliet, that was in mythology long before Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet. There's an old mythology play or a mythology story called Pyramus and Thisbe. And Pyramus and Thisbe literally lived in the same the same house type of thing, but it was separated by a wall. And there was this hole, this chink, that was in the wall between their rooms. And they would whisper to each other, and they were lovers through this hole in the wall. Pyramus and Thisbe were. And but their families, even though they shared the same building, like in this duplex situation, the families hated each other, warred with each other, couldn't stand each other, but they're, So Pyramus and Thisbe are supposed to meet under some cherry tree to run off or something. And I'm paraphrasing. But very similar to the Romeo and Juliet thing, I think she shows up first, and a lion or a tiger or something that had just eaten something comes upon her, and she gets scared and she runs, but her cloak or scarf, I don't know, something she's wearing gets dropped, and then the lion just gets blood all over it. And here comes Thisbe, now I don't even know who's the female. I'm like,
no, that was as I'm looking it up, that was one of the questions. Like, is Thisbe a boy or a girl?
So think about it. I don't know who's the
Thisbe
female.
is a girl, so Thisbe's the girl.
Okay, so then Pyramus, I think I'm pretty sure I have honestly now I don't even know who comes first. I think it's the girl who's there first.
Yeah, and she drops her cloak or something.
Yes. And he comes along, thinks she's dead. And if you go on to what you're reading, I think what happens is he kills himself, and then she kills herself, and their blood turned the cherries. Cherries used to be white.
Crazy. Yeah, you gotta. I don't know. I think all that stuff's real, man. Like there's something to
cherries
it.
Red or
there's
something. That's why our cherry trees are red cherries. That's why cherries are red or something.
Yeah.
So I have officially had you for an hour and almost 50 minutes, and so I'm gonna let you go and go do your chickens. Do you want to?
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I'm good. I'm having fun, but yeah, these birds need to run around.
Oh yeah, No, I'm serious. I have to be conscious of the fact that I will totally take you hostage and sit here.
Oh no, you got me. You got me on the damn Greek stuff now. So yeah, no, stop while you're ahead, because I'll keep going too.
Welcome to my world. My brain thinks like yours, so I'll get it.
This might be new stream topics.
So do you want to throw anything out there before you go? Do you want to tell people what you're up to, where to find you later? Are you streaming anytime? When's your next stream?
We've been doing it 3:30 Central Time, Monday through Friday. That's gonna be the game plan for the foreseeable future. And then I'm thinking just life. I'm just gonna take the weekends off and just, again, balance. You have to have balance. So I draw all day.
I don't have this wrong, right? What it says. I know that your website's correct, but I
need to get the Twitch on there.
It's just Tim Lattie on Twitter, IG, and Facebook and Twitch. Tim Lattie.
All of them. I'll keep it simple. Yeah.
I love. Yeah. I mean, I remember that's one of the most important things. I mean, I have Tim here, and Tim's our master of the day for sure. But if you're out there and you don't have all your branding, or you haven't done all your branding, not only do the branding, pick something, make something, but you got to go to every platform. I don't care if you don't use Twitch. You got to fucking go to all those platforms and snag your ad. Go snag your brand, because the fact that you have Tim Lattie on everything, that's rad, because a lot of people don't have the same thing everywhere,
Yeah, I know a guy, great comic book artist. He changed his last name like in the middle of his career, and it probably had a huge effect. Yeah, you know, like dude's unbelievable.
Like,
Good friend, one of
yeah.
my teachers growing up. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm Doris Jones Labors of Love on everything except Twitter, and the only reason I'm not that on Twitter is because it's too long.
Right.
So.
No, I came up with this one years ago, and I'm just rolling with it. I don't.
Right.
That's my team. If anybody asks, Tim Lattie.
The Lat Pack.
Yeah, the Gentleman's Club. Yeah, the Gentleman's Club. Every weekdays at 3:30 Central.
And I like saying that you have a Lat Pack for your Gentleman's Club.
We do have a little Lat Pack. Yeah.
I'm going to tell the ladies out there that I am the unofficial head of the Lat Pack.
All right, you can tell them. Tell them Sherm's back as well, so we can get those numbers up.
We're his wolf pack of chicks. So spread the news, ladies. We got a team Gentleman's Club to go follow on Twitch.
The Gentleman's Club. Ladies are allowed. Ladies are allowed in the Gentleman's Club.
I will definitely be hopping into your stream and watching on the weekdays when I can. I'm usually at work, but I 100% will be there to support you. So thank you.
Oh no, you're fun. Everybody likes you. So yeah.
I'm easy to like.
Right.
Until I'm not.
I'll let them find out. I'm not pushing those buttons.
You know, just real quick before we leave, that kindness versus savage thing, I 100% can still sleep at night when I know that if I've had to go savage on someone, 100% guarantee you, Tim, they fucking deserved it.
Yeah, F&A. Yeah. No, that's the Irish in you. Yeah, no, Irish. Right. I'm down to party until it's time not to. Exactly. Then I'm destroying.
I'm a sweetheart until I'm not. And if I'm not, you might want to ask yourself.
That's that green blood. That's that emerald blood. So yeah.
Exactly. So thank you. I'm going to hit an exit video that I have, and then you're more than welcome to just, close out your screen and stuff while that's playing. And you have a great rest of your day, babe.
You too. It was fun. All right, John.
It was. I'm so glad you were here. I said I was going to hit play. Where is it? And thank you all for coming. And I can't wait till next Saturday morning. Next Saturday morning, we're going to be joined by Master Rich Parada, the creator of Incantessi. So please do not miss it.